Hi everyone, Katie here. Welcome back to another layout video. Today I have two pictures and a big journal card to tell a story of a few weeks ago when my car tire was completely flat. I had run over a large pin, I guess on my way to work, and when I came out of work I had a completely flat tire. So I have a picture of the flat here, and then I also have my little air pressure gauge. I tried to use it on my car, see if it was as flat as I thought it was, and it completely broke in my hand. So I really just had to laugh at that point. So it was definitely a photo moment. Now I'm using this new Fisker's guillotine trimmer. I am definitely still getting used to it, so I do have to readjust my photos a little bit, but so far I like it. It's pretty nice. I have my background paper. It's just a black and white polka dot, and you see I've got my two photos and my big journaling card. Now the journaling card is actually for pocket pages. And it was white, and I used my Distress Oxide and cracked pistachio to kind of blend some ink on there to just give it a little more color. Now I have this stencil that I made with my Cricut and a laminated pouch, an empty laminating pouch. They're pretty thin, I'm not gonna lie, but it works. And I have some very old Gina K Glitz glitter gel that I'm putting through the stencil. Since the stencil is so thin and the kind of like spokes of these little designs aren't connected in the middle, it does make for kind of messy stenciling, and some of the glitter gel gets underneath the stencil, and it's not perfect. It's not. But that's okay. I like how it turns out. Anyway, I did use my heat tool to dry it a bit, and I don't make you watch quite all of that. But yeah, I'm liking how it's turning out. I really like how glittery and sparkly this stuff is. So that is quite nice, you know? Maybe I do make you watch all of it. I apologize. Here I have my photos again in my journaling card. I know these three things have to make it on the layout, but I'm not exactly sure where I want them, and I don't want to cover up all that mixed media that I just made, because I think it's pretty, and I want to be able to see it. So I rearranged it in quite a few different ways to try to figure out what I want to do. I don't have a definitive, yes, this is what I want to do yet. So I decide that it's time to do my journaling while I kind of procrastinate on figuring out my layout. Now, you can't see the lines that I'm making just because I'm using a Jelly Roll glitter pen, and it just writes in glitter, which I think is super pretty, and I really like it, and it works perfectly to make journaling lines because they're subtle. They don't get in the way of your journaling, they don't overpower your journaling, but they help you, obviously write in straight lines. And now I'm just telling the story of finding my flat tire, and I get out of work a few hours before my husband, so I called him, and he was in the middle of a presentation, and then I called my dad, and my dad came and rescued me. So even at, as an adult, you still need dad to come save me. He helped me get the tire off, and found the big gigantic pin in the tire and pulled it out and plugged it, and you could see I was trying to measure. That was actually the pin. I held on to it because I was just amazed that was actually in my tire. But we plugged it and got air back in the tire and put it back on, and I was all good to go. So it was definitely a story to tell. And then I add my little bit in about my pressure gauge. Just breaking in my hand. Oh my gosh, it was just, like, you had to laugh because it was just one thing after the other, and thankfully it was a pretty nice day outside for winter and wasn't too cold, so wasn't anything to be upset about. That, life just happens sometimes. And here it definitely did. So now I'm rearranging yet again to try to figure out, hey, what exactly do I want to do? I want to see my mixed media. I want all these things to be visible in my layout. And ultimately I decide turn the paper around, so the mixed media is closer to the top, and move my other pieces together. I do end up covering up a lot of the mixed media, but you know what? That's okay. That's how it goes. If I want to see it all, then I wouldn't put my photos or my story on there, and those are the most important things to me. I do use some double-sided tape because I think that's the strongest and the best way to adhere my paper on top of the mixed media, and it seems to be holding pretty well. So I am using that there, and then I thought my story here, I want to pop that up a little bit. So I get some foam tape, and this is just Dollar Tree foam tape. It is from their Crafter's Square. It's archival quality, and I really like using it. So I popped that up, and originally I don't exactly like where I put it down, but it is super sticky stuff, and it was not moving. So I just go with it and stick it down. I add some washi tape here to kind of make, I guess, a little bit of a shelf, a little bit more interest there down at the bottom. This probably would have been a lot easier to do if I had not stuck down my journaling box first, but sometimes you think of these things afterwards, so you take a little bit more time on it, and that's okay. I do stack up actually 3 pieces of washi. I've got the kind of blue polka dot, and then this pink. It actually has little boxes and a tiny alphabet, but that's really hard to see. I was just trying to throw a pop of pink in there. And then I find this teeny tiny little green one with little gold hearts on it. Or no, they're gold stars. So just to kind of bring the green, my little pressure gauge was green. The cracked pistachio is a green color. So I wanted to have little subtle hints of green. Now, when I was thinking about my title, I thought about, well, why don't I just leave the title as The Story, as you can see on the card, but I wanted something a little bit different, and in the little purple box there, that's all of my pocket cards, and they all came from the same set, and that's where the story card came from, and I thought I'd use that little hashtag, and I was trying to find a sticker that said life. So it'd be like, well, hashtag life, like this is what happens. But I couldn't find any stickers that I had that I really wanted to use. It wasn't quite working for me. Now I'm going through my other bits of ephemera. This is just kind of general pretty stuff that I like. But I wasn't feeling it on this layout. This layout was not one that I was looking to add, lots of flowers and hearts and things like that too, which is something I normally do. So now I'm looking through all of my stickers, just kind of general stickers that I have, and I take off this one from Amy Tangerine Picnic in the Park. It says hooray. I do mean that sarcastically. Obviously, it was not a great moment to have all this happen, but thus is life. And here's a little tag at the top. It says today in gold foil. Figure, okay, so that kind of gives me that diagonal line of embellishment. I add another little tag underneath of it, and I'm trying to just find little bits and bobs of extra things to add on there. And I'm also trying to use things that I don't normally use. So while you see, of course, pretty much every sticker sheet that I own is missing at least, a few stickers because I've used them. There are still quite a few stickers on these sheets that I'm looking through. And I try, you know, even some enamel dots. I had one more line of pretty pink enamel dots on that sticker sheet, and I wasn't feeling it. But I thought, you know what, why not add a little more texture with this black and white baker's twine. It fills in the space at the top of the journaling box, and the colors coordinate well. Obviously, black and white go pretty well with a lot. So that makes me a little happier. I like how there's just less blank, you know, dead space on the layout. Although some people would probably say that there's way too much going on my layout with all the glitter and pattern paper and, you know, the stickers and things that I'm adding. But I like it. I don't think there's quite enough yet. So I'm adding just a few more little bits and bobs here, little stickers, and rearranging to kind of make a little cluster down at the bottom. But I'm starting to think, okay, we're getting there. I'm liking how this layout is turning out. And there I finish it up. Thanks for watching. Bye.